Welcome to the Paul Farrington Show. Instant reaction to the Packers' 30-14 win over the Titans. Jack Weinberger, Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia here with us. And yeah, Ziggy, it is a head in the hands kind of a day for watching the Green Bay Packers. Now, look, the Vikings were thrilled. Vikings Steelers were thrilled. But in terms of us getting excited about really getting a grasp on the NFC North here, it was a day where guys like me and you might walk back on some things that were said this week.
Well, yeah, and I wasn't looking forward to recording this show because, as every Packers fans knows, I have been hard on Malik Willis. I have come out and said that I don't think he can be an NFL quarterback, that I think as long as he's playing for you, you have basically no chance to win. I mean, I picked the Colts and the Titans to beat the Packers because Malik Willis was playing. And, maybe the first week, right? You could say, well, he ran a bunch. The game plan was sort of built around that. He didn't really show much. This game was different. That was nowhere near competitive. There was no point when you thought maybe the Titans can win this. And that was primarily on the back of Malik Willis throwing the ball. He had some great completions to Christian Watson, a handful of those, some good passes to Jaden Reed, a nice touchdown to Emmanuel Wilson. Again, I mean, it's not Patrick Mahomes, but he was a very good quarterback today and was a major reason, not just why the Packers won, but why they won 30-14. So Malik Willis, I'm sorry. Packers fans who I've been arguing with all week, I'm sorry. Clearly you saw something I don't, and I'll be there when the Tom Clements Hall of Fame wing opens.
Oh, I mean, he was awesome. This was his revenge game. He wanted to play in this game. There was never a doubt. He's better than.
Wait, what do you mean? When they asked him if he wanted to play in the game, he said, I got paid when I was there.
I swear to God, he wanted to play in this game. There is no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, there was something in there.
And he showed it today. Like, he was absolutely awesome. Spread the ball around. I mean, this was an ass whooping.
It was domination,
to say the least. I picked Green Bay in this game. I did not think it would be like this. I didn't think that he would look the way he did, and he'd score 30 points on the road. And these guys now, look at this. Jordan Love's hurt. Malik wins 2 games, 2-1. Now Love's probably back. I mean, just absolutely perfect for the Blue Sky franchise there in Green Bay.
Is there something in the water there? How did they take Malik Willis, who was absolute garbage of the Tennessee Titans, and just make him into a powerful NFL quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly happens in Green Bay. I actually thought so the Titans game, when it started off with Willis, I don't take back anything from last week where we said he wasn't super impressive. He just, executed the game plan at a high level. But in terms of throwing the ball, I didn't think Malik did anything that blew your mind away against the Colts. And then all of a sudden, pretty quickly into this Titans game, he really, like, their first drive, I think it was, he had a few throws where all of a sudden I sat back and went, oh, all right, he showed up today. Like, the arm is there today.
Oh, you could tell in the first drive too. He ran into the end zone, right? The first drive was 7-0 a few minutes in.
Yeah, he's 13 for 19, 202 yards, a touchdown, no picks, 6 rushes for 73 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he balled out. He was just awesome.
He had that sense of urgency. He was the quarterback the Packers wanted today.
Yeah, QB controversy, man.
Hey, I said in the last show, if he wins this game, goes 2-0.
They showed a graphic during the game. I don't know if you caught this, guys, but it showed his first 3 starts in Tennessee, 51% completion, 83%. This is like through the third quarter. 83% in Green Bay through 2 starts. 234 yards in 3 games with the Titans, 324 in 2 with Green Bay. 0 touchdowns, 3 picks with the Titans, 2 touchdowns, 0 at the time with Green Bay. I mean, his quarterback rating was 39 versus 131.7. Like, I don't understand how they do this. Maybe there is something in the water, Ziggy, but someone texted, the Titans must be regretting this and letting him go because he looks better than Levis. And I texted back and said, well, if he was in Tennessee, he'd be horrible. But now that he's a Packer, all of a sudden, he takes a switch. So congrats to Malik. I mean, that was pretty cool for him to go and get a big revenge spot.
I mean, last night I was shoving cheese down my throat and drinking beer all night. So
that's what Wisconsin
I think I propelled some good juju for the Packers today.
It was the perfect showing for a Packer team. The defense was also awesome today because the Titans looked, they competed with the Jets. I mean, they should have beat the Bears. They're 0-3 now, but they've been competitive in their first 2 weeks. And this was, like you said, Jack, just an ass whooping from the start on both sides of the ball. Sorry, Isaiah, you looked like you want to say something?
I was just going to say, yeah. I mean, it was good on both sides of the ball, right? 8 sacks, 2 big interceptions, including a Jair Alexander pick 6.
Yeah.
Absolutely everybody feasted this game. Lucas Van Ness got a sack. Xavier McKinney got an interception. Devontae Wyatt, didn't he get 2 sacks? Quay Walker got in there for a sack. Jair Alexander, obviously with that pick six, he has ridiculous, like a giant wrestling belt that clearly he's just been waiting to break out for whenever he eventually gets a pick six. But I mean, you have to be satisfied as much as, I mean, this Titans offense isn't the best in the NFL, but holding a team to 30 rushing yards in the NFL is hard to do. I don't care who you're playing. Will Levis, he's had ups and downs, but this game was many more downs than ups. Yep. And, it's one thing. I mean, the Packers saw this last year, right? Even when the offense gets off to a hot start, if you don't want the game to get close again, you need the defense to play well for 4 quarters of the game. Because it just takes 2 drives letting up, and suddenly the Titans have 2 touchdowns. There was no let up.
Yeah. Did you see the forced fumble too? It was Kingsley. I can't remember his name. I can't pronounce the last name off the top of my head. It was King, but 55 on Green Bay. I mean, he came in and just smoked Levis to force the fumble. Like, they were hitting hard. It was 33 rushing yards for Tennessee compared to 188 for Green Bay.
I feel like these last 2 weeks, especially today, really showed this team as a whole, as a unit, especially the defense, rose to the occasion and played with that extra oomph for Malik Willis. Like everybody got that much better these last 2 weeks, and that's what had to be done. And to go on the road, I don't know who you're playing unless it's the Panthers or the Bears, but to go on the road in the NFL and win by that convincingly with a backup quarterback as 2-point dogs is amazing.
Oh, I was sitting there in the first half, Ziggy. I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm just looking at the screen back to my family. I'm like, oh, this is like they're on the 5-yard line. I'm like, they're about to whoop Tennessee today. This is gonna be bad. Like this is gonna be real bad. I find myself, I'm thinking about our reaction video. I'm like, wow, this is gonna get a lot of good views. And I'm like, wait a second, no. Like we need to stop it. Like, we need to stop here. It was it was an impressive performance today. But the NFC North right now, guys.
Well, the game of the year is next week.
I mean, Vikings and Packers next week we can't script it better for us. Jordan Love going back. The Vikings are rolling. I
think you'd rather see Love than Malik right now. I think you'd rather see Love if you're a Viking fan.
That's I'm not so sure about that.
We got some laughing in the background over here as I say that.
No, it's going to be an awesome game, and these are 2 teams. You just mentioned it, Jack. How complete the Packers have looked. Really, the last 2 weeks they've been very impressive after that sluggish start in Philly. We got moved past
in Brazil.
In Brazil, I'm sorry, in Brazil against Philly. We got moved past that now because both these teams are playing at a super high level, and it's going to be, the lines, they're getting after the quarterback. Like, the quarterbacks themselves are playing well. It's going to be a great game. Aaron Jones returns to there's some good narratives in it as well. We're going to have to really this is going to be a great week for us in terms of getting stuff out on Vikings Packers. But yeah, right now it's hard to just sit here and kind of praise Green Bay, but the job Matt LaFleur's done in terms of really keeping the season alive, where there's a world where this could get away from Green Bay. They're 0-3 and they face a really difficult couple of weeks with Jordan Love returning from an injury. To be 2-1, having your star come back, like, they can even afford a loss to the Vikings, and they're in fine shape. I think this kind of cemented them as one of the NFC contenders for the season, but maybe not more than the Vikings. Maybe not more than the Vikings.
We'll see next week. Yeah, that's a team who looks mightily impressive. We come out with our new power rankings next week. I might put them up pretty high there.
It's hard to keep them low.
We'll see. But I'm excited for that. We should go out for that one. We should go out for that game.
I know, it makes you wonder a little bit. In the back of my mind, I'm going, did you guys see? I thought as well. I thought really in general everyone played well for Green Bay, but the Christian Watson catch early in the game, that to me, if you could get him going this season. Like that. That's the guy. I know that people love Reed. I know people are big on Dobbs, but to me, Watson's always been the guy that if you could get him going, he's got some star potential. And it was just impressive performance all around.
I think Jaden Reed is super, super dynamic, and the potential and the ceiling of that kid is through the roof. Like, he can really do it all. I saw one play today. It was I believe it was a reverse. He took off like 20 yards down the sideline.
No, they're creative too, and getting the ball.
Creative, explosive. Like, I love that kid. Probably is on my fantasy team.
I was going to say, all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, wait a second.
It's a little.
I saw him on Jack's.
It's a little biased, but I mean, this is a good team. It really is. And unlike you guys, I like to admit it.
I don't like admitting it. I'm sitting here I'm just looking at the box score, like the start they got off 17-7 in the first quarter. It was really a devastating moment when I was watching that first drive, and like, all right, I think I tweeted out, so Malik Willis can throw ... And it was I'm very excited for what the rest of this upcoming week has in store for us as we're breaking down Packers, Vikings, and the Bears. I mean, Jack, as much as you dislike Caleb Williams and have been predicting him to be horrible,
He's
and
the worst quarterback ever.
It's brutal. So if you're a Packer fan, outside the Vikings looking good, to smoke Tennessee and see the Bears, I mean, that Bears Colts game was ridiculous. And we're going live at around 7:15 after the 4 o'clock games. We'll get into all of these, but that Colts Bears game was just watching a train wreck over and over. Was Richardson worse? Was Williams worse? They were trying to top each other every single drive. Just a brutal watch.
And to nobody's surprise, AR comes out on top.
Yeah, but
did anybody come out on top that game? I'm not sure that's how I
seen there watching it. It was like 7-3. Richardson threw his second or third horrendous pass of 2 drives. It seemed he sits down on the bench disgruntled, and it's like 7-3. Colts are winning. Like what is happening in this? It's a weird NFC North right now. But hey, we get a Lions loss a little later today, and
we're recording around during the 4 o'clock game. So
we're having some fun here.
Yeah, they're in Arizona too, right? I think I have the Cardinals money line in that game.
Yeah, that's a big one. So we'll have the reaction to that as well at the 7:15 live show. We just want to get a quick reaction out here to Green Bay, really smoking Tennessee. So impressive. Ziggy, any final words here before we get this out and get ready for the 4 o'clock games?
I mean, I think you guys have said it all, but I think the call that Vikings Packers next week could be game of the year is certainly up there. And yeah, I mean, the NFC North, best division in football. I don't know.
The defense is what, and that's one thing I want to close with. The defenses for Green Bay and Minnesota, so much attention on them to make these teams contenders because we were confident in the Vikings offense. Everyone believed in the Packers offense. It was how good can these defenses be to propel them to championship level? I mean, the Vikings saying championship's a little bit of a stretch earlier in the season.
I mean, they just demolished the Texans.
No. I'm not talking the beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, like no one saw that coming. Yeah. But like where they are right now, the performances the past 2 weeks, just Green Bay shutting down 2 AFC South teams that you need to shut down, and the Vikings, dismantling the Texans and kind of authoritatively beating the 49ers. Like these defenses are blowing my mind how impressive.
I've got one question to finish with, actually.
Yeah.
How many games in a row does Xavier McKinney need to get an interception to get Defensive Player of the Year?
I told you I had that dream, right? I had the dream.
He needs to pick 17 games in a row because Watt's the DPOY.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think the number is less than 17, but if he can keep doing it every single game.
You think Van Ginkel's in the running?
No,
Gink's a monster.
I think
Gink is a freak.
McKinney, he's good. I think McKinney though needs like 20 picks.
Can we just get Defensive Conference of the Year and just give it to the NFC North?
I think Van Ginkel needs like 10 defensive.
Could TJ Watt solo the NFC North for an award? He might be able to.
I mean, yeah,
he's amazing.
I think Gink needs like 10 scoop and score touchdowns.
We'll wrap it up there, and then enough positive Packer talk. I'm sure we'll have plenty of it coming in the 7:15.
We won't next week.
Nope, not next week. I mean, look, who wants to get in front of this train right now in Minnesota? Come on, Jordan Love, come back in here. Like the Dallas Turner returning, Van Ginkel, Grenard, Harrison Smith. Who you want? You take your pick.
I sure wouldn't want to.
The train is rolling. I mean, Josh Metellus, we could go all day here. But with that said, good pack away today. So we're gonna have a lot of fun over the next few days here. We'll see you for the 7 o'clock reaction live.